Hello and welcome to the Lorna Marie Fitness Podcast, the show where we talk all things fitness, health, mindset and lifestyle to help you become fitter, healthier and happier. I help busy people who lack time, motivation and self-belief to look and feel great again. If you want to work with me, head over to lornamariefitness.co.uk, but for now, enjoy this episode. How are you? How is everybody? So we got back from the retreat last night, and get this, how crazy is this? So we were in the airport in Santorini and everyone was just about to board the flight, and they turned everyone around and told them to go back into the airport and said, we're looking for 30 volunteers. We can't fly everybody home. We're looking for 30 volunteers. Me and we were looking at each other like, no. We can't do that. We've really got to get back. Like, Will's got a lot on in his other work. So he works full time in electroplating company, which is my family business. He works full time there. He's got a lot on. He's like, I can't do it. And they were giving away I thought it was a really good package. It's like €450 a person to volunteer to stay on the island. I was like, I could totally do my classes from Santorini and everyone would love it. Anyway, it wasn't possible, and we held back to the end. I was looking around at all these families. I was thinking, if a family gets pulled out, we're gonna have to volunteer. These kids need to get home. Anyway, yeah, as it so happened, the families got on board, and so did we. We did too. So we got back, but really, really late at night last night. So this morning's class was interesting, but actually, do you know what? The best thing to do, and I always say, if you're feeling tired, one of the best things to do is just do a workout. It's the most energizing way to start the day, and a really positive way to start the day as well. So this morning, it felt really good. It felt so good. Class was buzzing. So 27 of you live there, and it was lovely to see you all. Really enjoyed it. Hit with weights. It was a good one, wasn't it? And then we did Yogascape, the new Yogascape, a little bit later. And hey team, the brand new one on the rooftop is on demand now, and I would highly recommend going and doing it this week. It's got a gorgeous relaxation at the end too. So if you're having a really stressful time or a stressful week, get yourself on that and you will feel so much better for doing it. I can't even tell you. All right, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed the classes abroad in Amorgos. The retreat was just incredible. It was amazing. There was a bit of a hiccup getting over to the island because of the waves and the wind. So they actually said it's too dangerous to go. So we had to change all of our plans, really last minute, to get everyone over to the island, which, as you can imagine, for me and Will, was obviously pretty stressful. But we got there, and actually, it was really nice because we had to go to a different island first, Naxos. We had a tour there, so we got to see a bit of a different island. We all had dinner together, and then a late ferry over. So we, in terms of missing time, we didn't really miss much time at all, apart from the Monday evening. And then, we got to visit another place. So it was actually a bonus, and everyone was laughing about it. There was a random lady who joined the tour who was feeding a cat some cake, which was really random. So that was actually quite funny in the end. And then the rest of the trip was just brilliant, really, really great. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed having a bit of a snippet. And I did actually get a lovely message saying thank you so much for all of your efforts for trying to live stream at home as well as abroad, and sharing the experience with us all, which really meant a lot to me because it was quite hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was quite hard to do that and to put that on, but I wanted to do it because I thought it'd be really special, a bit of a shared experience. And then I also thought, we've got those on demand then, really, really cool. We can go back to them. The sessions are a bit different and they're also a little bit longer, so we've got some longer ones on there now too, so you can explore those. They're currently in new this week, and then they'll also be going into the long workouts area and the holistic area. Although watch out if you do mobility and stretch. That's a really interesting one. So before we start the Q&A, I always like to do a little bit of a catch up with you guys. I think it's really nice just to catch up and tell you what's going on and things. I am going to be doing the Friday email, but I did it ad hoc as a video, and I got really good feedback on the video format. I thought, Okay, maybe that's great. So if I just give you like a bit of a rundown on a little video each week on some updates, and then that can replace the monthly updates as well, because that's quite a chunky thing to do, and I know it takes a lot of time to listen to. We don't have a lot of time, do we, team? So I thought if I do like a weekly short video of everything you need to know, then it'll all be there. Just very quickly though, in November, our focus is going to be nutrition. So October, we had our step challenge. Well done to Catherine's team, and well done to all teams as well. It was really, really good fun. And it was just great to be part of like a mini community within a community, I think. As long as you had fun, you were more mindful about your steps. Maybe you did more steps than normal. Yeah, that's all that matters. So I'm really, really glad you enjoyed that. We got some fantastic feedback from that. And like I said, November's going to be a bit more of a nutrition focus. I'm going to be sharing some extra recipes. And on top of that, I'm also going to be, I have created a whole ebook for you guys on loads of different nutrition aspects and a couple of other things as well, like some of your suggestions that are going to be coming. So just stay tuned. And it's such a big topic that we are definitely going to have to do this again, like a part B. But anyway, that's the focus for November. Let's get to the Q&A. And as always, if you have any friends or anyone who you think would benefit from what we do and being part of our amazing fitness family, you need to tell them to get in touch, because they can come and join us on Monday. And that means that they'll be going into the new year just feeling great and feeling brilliant, rather than it being like a mad panic in January or February. Just going into the new year feeling, right, okay, I've got some control over my health and fitness. I've got a bit of a pattern going on and having a good time. So definitely tell them. And final notice is Dotty, the outfit Dotty. Do you like it? It's really gorgeous, really, really gorgeous. The crop top's longer than normal. The bottoms come up higher than normal as well. So, you know, if you're having like feeling a blow today, yeah, it's amazing. It's such a comfortable outfit. So that is out. So get your hands on that before the 8th. Because then all orders close, I'm afraid. So you need to get on it, team. Now, to the questions, seeing as though we've done a few updates. And also the other shop, which is separate. So the normal shop, they're doing a Halloween offer, so you get a free Halloween gift. I have bought the oversized hoodie. I love it. And I'm waiting for my gift. I really want to get the Halloween mug. I love it. I don't know what I'm going to get, but I really hope I get that one. Okay. To the questions. I'm going to answer them in order, team. So very quickly, I am really suffering with neck pain after working out. I feel like I put all the strain on my neck. Any suggestions to prevent this, please? So I did actually ask for a bit more information on this one, you know, like where is the screen in relation to you? And this particular squad, he said it's at eye level, because I was thinking, you know, if it's looking up or looking down, then of course it's going to be pretty tricky. If it's on the telly though, and you are on the floor, then just be wary of the position of your neck. But what I would say, it could be a number of things. Firstly, like it's almost like an A, B and C. Just check your alignment, check your posture. So when you're doing some moves, for example, if you're doing like a bent over row, so you're leaning forwards and then rowing like a bar or weights in towards your ribs, where's your neck position when you're doing that? Really, you want to keep the chin tucked and you want to keep the spine in line with the rest of your back. So be really, really mindful about your posture and how you're holding yourself. When you're doing crunches, where are you looking? Are you doing a crunch and looking up towards the ceiling and straightening your neck? Or are you doing a crunch and tucking in your chin loads, which is what we want? So think about your posture. And if you're not sure about your posture on some moves, let me know. For example, when you do a squat, are you craning your neck forwards? It's all really small little things like that. Like how are you actually holding yourself when you're working out? So that would be the first thing. And if you don't know, why don't you just film yourself? Like no one has to see it other than you. Why don't you just film yourself on a bit of an angle, like a 45-degree angle, so you can see your position of your neck and your back and see what you're actually doing? Because you might be, you know, non-intentionally almost leaning forward or jutting your chin and neck out a little bit. Another thing it could be is it could be weak upper body, like shoulder muscles. It could be, that is then forcing all that pressure up your neck. So if you've got like a weak back and shoulders, it could be forcing the pressure up your neck. On other moves, like the crunches, for example, if you have a weaker core, your neck could be overcompensating. Or equally, if you've got a weaker neck and you're just not, not used to doing these things, or you're just getting back into it. So it could be that too. If it hurts to hold a barbell, say on your back, note where you're actually holding it. So we don't ever put the barbell on our neck, like on the bone. We actually just rest it on the soft part of the back, so on your muscles. So drawing your shoulder blades together and resting it on your muscles. And if that doesn't feel right, it could be the shape of your spine, just doesn't feel right, then do a squat with the weight on the front of your body. So you could, hold on to your collarbones. So you could hold the bar on your collarbones, or you could hold a weight plate on your collarbones, for example, instead. So like doing a front squat. So you could make little alterations like that. And also, are you holding your breath? I know that sounds really strange, but when we hold our breath, it can increase the tension in our upper body. So that could be another thing. Are you stressed? Like, have you got a lot of tension in your neck and your upper body already? Can you do a few breathing exercises before you start, just to make sure that your upper body is completely relaxed? Do you do much mobility? Are the muscles in your neck, upper body, shoulders really, really tight? And then that's causing strain down your neck as well. Is everything super tight up here? So not just stress, but, are you doing any mobility? Are you doing anything to help release them? Are you getting adequate rest? So it's all these little things. So you kind of need to go through it and think like a bit of a checkbox. So yeah, I'm holding myself fine. I don't see the problem there. I'm definitely tucking my chin in when I'm doing those exercises. But yeah, do you know what? Actually, I think I have been dealing with quite a lot of stress recently. Maybe I'm actually in the rest of the day, like just holding so much tension and stress. And when it comes to my workout, like it just gets even worse. So I would be thinking about looking at your weekly plan and seeing, does it have some core work in there? Like I said, your neck can overcompensate if you've got a weaker core. Does it have some strength work in there at least twice a week? And are you actually doing some mobility and flexibility? Are you doing anything to release the tension in your muscles? So these are all things that I would be looking at and going through like a checklist, just to make sure that you're definitely doing them. But that's what I do. And also things like massage. Do you ever go for a massage? Could you do that? Could you incorporate that, like a deep tissue massage, for example? But that's what I would do. And if you get any sharp pains, just adjusting the workout, making sure you get adequate rest so that your body can recover from it. Now on my side, it keeps freezing. You're going to have to let me know if I keep freezing. I'm not used to having rubbish internet. Now I'm so spoilt with the internet in Greece. It was actually really good, I'd love to ask if there's a really deep stretch class that might be a new one that focuses on a long amount of time for tension release in the upper body, but maybe the full body. Autumn feels like the time for a holistic deep stretch, but I'm always stuck for which ones to do. Ones will I tangle my totally constant icky neck, back, shoulders and arms due to the job, muscle overuse and toddler duties. So I read that out really weirdly, didn't I? I was like, where's the commas? A really long one, I would be doing Yogascape. So like the new one, if you go onto the new Yogascape, it's 40 minutes long. That is a really nice way to release the whole entire body. So I would be looking at those. If you go to the long workout section, there's some nice long ones there. We also have targeted arm, upper body, neck, shoulder stretches. So if you type any of those in, like neck, shoulder, upper, for example, into on demand, they come up. Tend to be slightly shorter, those ones. So if you needed something just like release your neck, they would be good. If you're looking for more longer yoga sessions, again, I'd look at the long workout section, or I'd do the Yogascape. If you're looking for a new one, do the new Yogascape. That one's really, really good. Then if you type in like anything chill or relax or pre-bedtime into on demand, or just go to the holistic area and look at stretch and look at yoga, for example, a lot of those come into it. So that the slower ones tend to be more restorative. But it's definitely something that we could do more of. So for example, next week I could pop one on. But I would look there first. So type those keywords in, and also have a look at longer workouts, have a look at the holistic section under stretch and under yoga, and there'll be loads on there. Yeah, loads of really, really good ones. Is it possible to do some modifications for a dodgy shoulder? Although I realise you can't do modifications for everyone's dodgy bits. But do you know what? That's one of the benefits of being online though. You know, you can adapt the moves to suit your body. And I'm not a physio or a medical professional, so I cannot, from that comment alone, just say, yeah, do this if you've got a dodgy shoulder, because I could cause you an injury. So I can't advise, and also I don't know exactly what the situation is. I would speak to a physio, and in the meantime, with the online workouts, know that you can just adapt. So if there's a move that doesn't feel right for you, don't do it. Literally don't do it. Or anything that causes sharp pain, don't do it. Just stop and modify. Modify the workout as suits your body. For example, there's loads of things like lower body things that you could be doing. And I always think of Helen, or lovely squatty Helen, when she broke her arm, and all of the lower body stuff that she was doing whilst it recovered, basically. So anything in sculpt, for example, anything we did on the floor, she'd modify, she'd be doing squats, or should be doing lunges instead. You've got things like power walking where you don't even use your upper body. There's loads and loads of different workouts on there. You know, Pilates, where you don't even need to use your shoulders for a lot of them. Or if there's anywhere we're on all fours and it hurts your shoulder, just don't do that one. You could stay with crunches instead, for example. So just really adapting. If you think about what muscle groups we're using at the time, so like I just said then, say if we're on all fours and we're working our core, what else can you do to work your core that won't aggravate it? So it's about thinking about all these different things. And then I hope you're getting some help with your shoulder as well to improve the strength, and you're seeing a physio, even incorporating some of your physio exercises. So when we're doing, say if we're doing like sculpt or hit and we're on a move for 30 or 40 seconds that is like really intense on shoulders, or maybe we're jabbing the air, and that's actually not good for your shoulder. What can you do instead? Say if we're doing a jab, could you do some of your physio exercises just instead for those 30 seconds? Or if we're jabbing the air and the focus is to get the heart rate up, well, can you do some kicks instead to get your heart rate up? You're not in a class with other people looking at you, everyone's in it together. So just adapt as you need to and do what you need to do in that moment. If you're really not sure and you're thinking, I don't know what to do when you're doing this exercise, or Lorna, what workouts are best, then let me know and we can work together, and we can work with the physio as well, just to make this the best for you. But in the meantime, just adapt where you can and how you need to. You know your body best, like better than anybody else. I have a new barbell. Whoop. In some of the classes you talk about medium weight. What weight is considered medium? Oh, that depends. Depends on the person, doesn't it? It depends on the person. So what I always start off with is I say, pop a medium weight on your bar, and from there I will adapt. I will say, right, next track, double it. Next track, take a third off. Next track, do this. So I'll tell you like per track. But of course you need the starting point, don't you? If you are brand new, if you're completely brand new to doing stronger, you've got a barbell, I'd put 2.5 kilos either side, or maybe a 2.5 and then a 1.25 after that. Or it depends on what you've got. Mine aren't 1.25s, mine are 1s actually. So I've got a 2.5 and a 1, and I also got a 5. But I don't use those. My medium weight that I start off with is 5k either side. So it depends on how long you've been doing it for. But hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea. And then what you can do is you can adapt from there. So after the warm-up, and we've done like medium weight, after the warm-up, I will say 2 to 3 times your warm-up weight for squats, usually, depending on what that particular track's like for that release. So I will load my bar up. I will just, I'm normally like more than double. Usually always more than double. So it depends on what you're doing and what the release is. But I hope that gives you a good starting point. And very exciting, you got a barbell as well. Amazing. Easy lunch options, please. I have building work going on at home. Oh no. Does this mean you don't have a kitchen? Because that could be a big thing. Or is it just the fact that you don't want to be like cooking while there's people at home? There's so many easy lunch options. Like one thing you could do is go to the shops, or go to a cafe. But if that's not an option, even things like wraps. We can just throw a load of things in a wrap. Or a sandwich. Like, what is wrong with a sandwich? Make a sandwich. Soup. Or if you haven't got cooking facilities, can you do literally what I did today? So I've come home, I have no shopping in. I went to the co-op and I got some eggs that were already boiled. I got some eggs, I got some fruit, I got some salad and some bread, and boom, there we go. Nice egg salad. Literally didn't even need to do anything at all. It was done for me. So easy. Other things, you can have like tins of tuna, or you can even get like pre-cooked meat. I'm just thinking if you don't have the cooking facilities right now, or if you're in a mad rush, these are things. Where's your protein? Start with that. So there, I just gave you some examples. A tin of tuna, some already boiled eggs, some cooked chicken, whatever it is, whatever you enjoy. Feta cheese. I've been eating feta so much. Salad that's already pre-washed. Boom, use that. Get some bread to go with it. Boom, put that in. And then there you have it. A nice, easy, healthy lunch. And then I've also had some Greek yogurt, put a little bit of honey with it because I'm missing Greece and feel like I'm obviously still in the Mediterranean. No, it's not the Mediterranean, is it? It's the Aegean. Is that right? Aegean Sea. Anyway, there. Some olives. Basically, you can just get loads of stuff that you can just throw into a bowl. You could make almost like a bit of a butter bowl for yourself, or you could make a salad, or you could make a wrap, or some soup with some bread. Just make sure it's like substantial. Make sure you got some protein in there as well. That's what I would do. Start with the protein source and build out from there. That's what I do. But if anyone else has got any other really fast, easy ones, I think off the top of my head, they're the fastest, easiest things I can think of. Salad, wrap, sandwich, soup, boom, off you go. Or leftovers from the night before. If you know that you're really going to struggle for lunch and making lunchtime options because there's so many people in your house, can you not make extra portions at dinner? So say, I don't know how many people, these are anonymous questions, so I don't know how many people you're cooking for, but say if it's me and Will, for example, instead of making 2 portions, can I make 6? So then I've got lunch for 2 days as well. It just makes life easier, doesn't it? So think of little things like that, little hacks that you can do. I've been increasing my protein, basing my meals around it. Excellent. But not measuring it. For example, I have porridge with a scoop of protein powder and milk, a tin of tuna at lunch, or 2 eggs. I like protein and the feeling of being satiated. Can I have too much protein in a meal or in a day? It'd be really quite difficult to do that, to be honest, to have too much protein. And it's great that you're being mindful and you're basing all your meals around a protein source. They're all really, really good examples. So well done for doing that. What you can do is in one sitting, generally speaking, depending on the size of the person, your metabolism, but generally speaking, the body can only absorb around about 25 grams in one sitting for muscle repair. Beyond that point, your body just gets rid of it, so you'll pee it out, or it'll be used for like energy, for example. Generally speaking, the body is just going to get rid of it. So just bear that in mind. Because then, it's almost like wasted energy. You could be having energy from other sources, like other macronutrients, like some healthy fats or some fibrous carbohydrates or some vitamins and minerals, for example. So just bear it in mind that beyond that about 25 grams, you're not really going to be getting any extra, is it right, the phrase, bang for your buck? Anyway, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be benefiting any more from having more protein in that one sitting. So you do need to think about sitting it out, which is why it's great just to base it around each meal, because then you don't really have to think about it. You've kind of already done that. But to be honest, from what you've said there, like, that's not too much. That's really not too much. That's not a huge amount. The only time that you'd ever really get too much is if you're absolutely hammering it. Like, you'd have to be eating so much more like protein in grams in a ratio to your body weight than ever before. It would be really hard to do it because protein makes you feel really full as well. So it'd be really hard to eat too much. And the only thing you'd need to consider is if you have kidney problems. then there might be an argument that, you might need to track it a little bit. But generally speaking, if you are someone who's active, or you are somebody who is on a weight loss journey, or you are someone who is perimenopausal or postmenopausal, you need to be aiming for around about 1.5 times your body weight in kilos in grams of protein. So someone who weighed 60 kilos would be aiming for 90 grams of protein as a minimum. So up to two times. So they'll be aiming for like 90 to 120 grams as a minimum. So, and that's quite, that's quite a decent amount. That's quite a lot to hit. So if you take your body weight, times it by 1.5, that's like a rough aim. Absolute minimum is times by about 1, roughly. But we don't really want to be doing that if you are somebody who is active, so you need the muscle repair. You're someone who's perimenopausal, so getting enough protein in is really important. So we can try and avoid as much muscle mass loss as possible. And also if you're someone who is on a fat loss journey, again, so as you lose weight, you can maintain as much muscle mass as possible and also keep your metabolism high. So that's why we really, really emphasize protein. It just helps you get results from your workouts. You're going to get that lovely, healthy, toned, fit body shape. And it's really important for your bone density as well to have enough muscle mass. So that, and like I said before, it's linked to your metabolism. The amount of lean muscle mass you have in your body is linked to your metabolism. So that's why. But it is very, very difficult to eat too much protein. Your body is going to do a very good job of getting rid of the stuff that it doesn't need. Our bodies are clever. And from what you said there, that really doesn't sound like too much at all. Like there's not a huge amount of protein in 2 eggs. So yeah, please don't worry. Tips for staying motivated, but also accountable and experience fluctuating hormones. Before we move on to the next question, I did know the amount in times your body weight that was quote unquote a lot for your body. 1 second. So, generally speaking, as I've already said, you want to be aiming for about 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. So take your body weight, times it by 1.5 to 2, which is what I've already said. That is the kind of thing, that's what you want to be aiming for. Anything kind of over the 2.2, 2.5 times, it's not necessarily too much. But if you do suffer with your kidneys, for example, if you've got kidney disease or it runs in your family, then it's something to be mindful of, because your body is going to need to get rid of the excess. So it can just put your kidneys under extra pressure, basically. But like I said, work that out and then work out what you're actually having. So if you weighed, let's say, I'll get my little calculator out. Let's say you weigh 70 kilos. So that means if we times it by 2, there's 140 grams of protein, right, in one day. So 140 grams of protein in one day. If you have protein porridge in the morning, there's about 20 grams of protein in a scoop of protein. Plus, if you've got your oats in there as well and a bit of milk, you're probably looking about 35 grams, okay? So minus about, let's say 35. That's still 105 left. Let's say you have a tin of tuna. Let's say that's like 25 grams of protein. Let's say you have some eggs. It's not right a lot, really. It's about 13, 14 or something like that, depending on the size of the egg. That is still 66 left. Let's say you have some chicken for your dinner as well. I've still got 36 left, and that's a really high protein day. That's to say that you've had protein porridge, you've had tuna, and you've had eggs, where here you said you have either or, and you've had a high protein dinner, and you've still got 36 grams left, and you're still within like the target. It's quite, it would be really hard to eat too much. Anyway, plus what is too much? Like I said, most people just excrete it with no problem. If you are going to be upping your protein, one thing I would say, is make sure you stay hydrated at the same time. Make sure you're staying super hydrated. And if you're relying on things like protein powders, especially if you're relying on protein powders, then like a protein bar later on in the day, sometimes it can affect your digestion a little bit. So if you're going to have like a more processed type, definitely make sure you're upping your water, but also think about how to get your protein from food first, as opposed to getting your protein from like a processed source. So on days where you have like a protein porridge and you're having a scoop of processed powder, maybe don't have the protein bar the same day. You can do, but it could affect your digestion, so it might not feel too nice. Anyway, let me go back to like the next question. Tips for staying motivated but also accountable when experiencing fluctuating hormones, which affect energy and mood. Okay, so every single week, making sure that you're putting your class in your journal. That's going to keep you accountable to you, and it's also going to keep you motivated. It'll keep you motivated because you're taking action, and action creates motivation. And also, you'll be really motivated, when you're ticking your workouts off. If you have fluctuating hormones, as women do, sometimes it affects us quite badly and quite heavily, then just switch your workouts. There's a few things that you can do. So still show up for you, still do it, still do some movement. But say, for example, if you've got really bad period pain and you're experiencing really bad cramps and you've told yourself that you're going to do a HIIT workout, change it to a nice gentle release. Do a stretch on demand instead. You've still done your workout, you will still get a tick in your journal, and you've done something to actually help your body. And also an extra win because you've listened to your body and you've responded in a way that is going to be kind to your body. And we all know the line between like what our body needs and being kind to our body and then just like sacking it off, don't we? We all know the line, and you know in yourself. But you'll also be proud of yourself if you do something that is actually really in tune with what your body needs right now. So that is what I would say. Plan your classes. Oh, the screen just started flashing at me then. Did you see that? My screen just went black. I was like, oh my gosh, it's gone. I've gone. It's okay. I'm still here. That is what I would say. Plan your class for the week ahead. And then if you need to adapt, do it. And also, keep accountable in the group. That's what our Facebook group is for. If you're not feeling it, tell everyone. If you need some motivation, tell everyone. Take a sweaty selfie. Put it on your Instagram stories. Like, there's method behind the madness, and that's why we have that social proof section for you guys. So you can go on there, and trust me, if you do something like that, you put a sweaty selfie on your story, it inspires other people, but it also really keeps you accountable and keeps you motivated as well. You could even create like a little account, like an exercise and nutrition account for yourself, and just literally documenting your journey. That's really, really motivating in itself, and it keeps you accountable too. So that's like quite a big thing to start, like a new account. Or if you're someone who likes social media, then you can just do it anyway. You can even keep it anonymous. But use this group to stay motivated and accountable. When we do challenges, get stuck in. When we're asking for selfies, get stuck in. Tell everyone in the group what you're doing, what workout you did. Did you enjoy it? And get to the lives when you can. If that works with you, or you might, maybe you need to just get up a little bit earlier, or maybe you need to make the effort as soon as you get in from work, you do it. Do that. The lives are very motivating. Or just do on demand and make sure you're sticking to the same time. Monday to Friday, same time. Get it into your routine. And then you don't have to worry about motivation or think about it so much, because it's something that you just do. And if you don't do it, you won't feel right for the day. You won't feel like you. So that is what I would say. And I think finally, setting yourself smaller goals, like little steps. So rather than thinking, right, I've got to complete 6 workouts this week, and you know that it's your time of month, or you know that you're just like, you're going through a really hard time right now. Putting yourself under that extra pressure, is that actually productive? Or is that going to have the counter effect? Can you not just say, I'm going to have a range? I know like my bare minimum is I need to do 3 workouts a week. So no matter what happens, even if I have to get up at 3 a.m, like no matter what happens, I'm getting my 3 workouts in. And by the way, I wouldn't recommend again for 3 a.m. I'm just saying. That is like your absolute base. I'm going to show up for me no matter what, even if it kills me. And then you have your ideal, right, I'm going to smash 6 workouts this week. Anywhere in between's a win. Maybe you end up doing 5. Or maybe you have a week where actually your hormones are all over the place. You're feeling a bit emotional. It doesn't feel great. And you do 4. But it's still a win. So plan your workouts. Stay accountable. Get involved. The more you get involved, the more you put in, the more you get out. Always. So if you're feeling really unmotivated, put a little post on the group. Do a sweaty selfie. Message me. Message any of our team. We're here for you. But if we don't know, then we also don't know to help. Make sure you're answering your monthly check-in as well. If you're on the inner circle, if you're on the 6-week course, make sure you are showing up for the weekly check-in. If you're really struggling with motivation, you're on the inner circle, why not do the squatty version of the 6 weeks? It starts every Monday and it is the best thing for motivation. And also if you just need that little boost, get yourself on it. Just message me and I can send you the details. But there's so many different ways that you can do this. And sometimes we all just need like a little bit of reconfiguration, a little bit of a boost. And especially if our hormones are kind of all over the place. And it depends on what you mean by this, but if it's like a period in time, say for example, perimenopause, it could potentially be a real chunky bit of time. We need to know how we can best manage this, right? If it's every month, if it's to do with your cycle, we need to know how we need to adapt every month. If this is going to be something that really does affect you and affect how you show up, what can we do? What are the things that we can put in place to make sure that you're still showing up for you, but listening to your body and adapting as you need to, and also not falling off the wagon. So then the week later, even once, your period has come and it's gone, you can just get straight back on it to how you were before. Maybe even training around your cycle if you need to. Not everyone needs to, but if you need to. I hope that was useful. Sorry, I went into that one a little bit quite deeply, didn't I? Okay. Yoga, going from upward facing dog to down dog. Firstly, can I check that up dog, the legs are off the ground? And secondly, which muscle group should I be using to get back to down dog? Doing class today, I felt like I was using a lot of my low back, which didn't feel great. Okay, so going from up dog to down dog, yes, your legs need to be off the ground. So your thighs and your knees off the ground. Then the muscle groups that you should be using to get back into a down dog, you want to be pushing through your hands, so it's going to use your shoulders. You want to be using your thighs. You want to be using the back of your legs. You want to be using your core, really making sure you brace your core so you can keep your hips stable as you rise. And then squeeze the glutes to lift the hips up right at the very end there. It's like a full body move. If you find that your lower back is hurting when you're in an up dog, there's a big chance that you are overextending your spine and you're not using your core to hold yourself properly and stable in that position. So we're dropping right into the lumbar part of the back, which is the lower part of the back, and not really using the muscles to help. So what I would say is make sure that you are using your core, pressing into the flat of the feet, maybe a little bit of a squeeze in the legs and the thighs, and just make sure you are using your core as you're transitioning. So we're not just holding without any core engagement, because then that will get into your low back a little bit. Yeah. Is it best to exercise AM or PM? The best time to exercise is a time that you can exercise. So it depends on you. I personally say the best time to exercise, for me anyway, and for the majority of squaddies, is in the morning. And that's for 2 reasons. Number 1, because it lifts your energy for the start of the day. And it really is a positive at the start of the day. So you've done something to fill up your cup, and you've done something really, really positive to begin the day, whether that's at 6:30 or 9:30 or on demand, whenever suits you. Secondly, I would say by doing it in the morning, it makes sure it gets done. With the best will in the world, if you try and exercise in the evening, like when you get back from work, sometimes things crop up. Sometimes you might be late from work, or you might still be stuck on a call, or if you're working from home, you're trying to do a little bit extra. Or if you're a teacher, you come back and you're marking. If you've got a family, you're making dinner for everyone. Maybe you're doing bath time. bedtime, whatever it is. And then by the time you get to finishing all of that, you could be exhausted. Or maybe you get home from work and you're absolutely starving and you just need to make dinner. And then you feel like, oh, I've had my dinner now. I feel a bit heavy, a bit bloated. Don't feel like working out right now. I feel sluggish. So I always think the best time really is the morning for that reason. But some people, so for example, Will, he's like my opposite. He can't think of anything worse and he would much rather get home from work, and that's his transition from work into home life, his little way of switching off, quick workout, off he goes before he has his dinner, and he just gets it done there and then straight away. So some people prefer that. Some people prefer it really late at night because actually it's the only time they get to themselves, and that's fine and they enjoy it. Sometimes doing a really relaxing one before you go to bed can really, really help you sleep and just switch off from the day. So it very much depends. But if I had to say the best time to do it, I would just say the morning. Even if you're not a morning person, I'd just say get it done. Get it done, make yourself feel really good, and make sure that it actually happens. What's a simple daily exercise which I can do throughout the day for backache when I've overdone it in the garden or housework? Okay. You could do a cat-cow, but I would actually go on the desk workouts area and type back release in there, or just type back, or if you go onto the desk workouts, you'll see it anyway. But there's loads of different back releases, and on demand actually. So if you go to the stretch, there's loads of 5-minute back exercises. But just 2 things: rotation, turning, looking over your shoulder, rotate the other way, look over your shoulder, cat and cow, or just holding forward fold. So depending on how you feel, just literally bending over, opening up your back. So you're opening up your back. You've got the cat and cow on all fours, or you can do a little spinal rotation. You can do that seated or standing up. So actually, in the new Yogascape today, we did a standing version of that. So you have your feet really wide, one hand down on the floor. If you need to, bend your knees, and lifting the other arm up to the ceiling. So you've got like a really big twist, and then you can do the other way as well. That's quite nice. How can I lift my mood? I would say if you need to lift your mood right now, getting stuck into the classes. I would plan my classes and I would turn up. Even if you feel it feels so rubbish, the best thing you can do is just show up. Because say if you're going through a really hard time, by showing up for you, it feels good. But also, by coming to the classes, it's a great way to switch off from everything else that's going on, everything else that's happening in life. As soon as that warm-up starts and you're immersed into the moment, thinking about what you're doing with your body in that time, in that space of time, particularly if you can come to the lives or the live replays, so you're not on your own, you're doing it with me. So if you want to come to the lives, if you can make it, come to the lives at 6:30 or 9:30. And you get a little wave from me, a little wave from everybody else. It's a really, really lovely community feel. Everyone's all in it together. And we have a really good workout. We take our minds off everything else that's going on in the world and just literally focus on what you're doing with your body at that time. Then the feel-good endorphins are zooming around the body, and we've done something for ourselves. And quite often you'll finish the workout and you'll be in a totally, totally different space. You are one workout away from being in a completely and utterly different place with your headspace. For that clarity, for feeling better, and for the space. So that is what I would say to lift your mood. And if they don't work, get yourself on demand. Get yourself on demand or a live replay. The live replay, you can still talk to other squaddies who do it at the same time as you. Pop it in the comments, say hey, and just get involved. Get yourself booked onto the socials and get yourself stuck in and focus on a goal for you. What is your goal this week? And I personally think that's the best way to lift your mood. And also choose classes that you really enjoy. Like go on to on demand, find a really fun one. The miscellaneous area's got some really hilarious ones in there. And like I said, you're one workout away from feeling a million times better. I can't tell you. Sometimes the thought of doing it is the worst thing. Like if you don't feel in a good place, you go, oh, I don't feel like doing it, I don't want to do that. But then you just, that, by doing that, it's not productive. Like it's not going to help you feel any better. By working out and moving your body as humans were meant to move, you'll feel so, so much better. You just got to do it. You just got to do it. Put on the big girl panties and get it done. Just do it and you'll feel better. That's how you lift your mood the best you can. And if you really are struggling, then of course, like speaking to somebody is really, really important. And as a squad, we're all here for each other. So please know that you can reach out, and also reach out to any professionals if you are in a bad headspace right now. And of course, message me. Yeah, I'm here for you as well. Okay, that concludes today's Q&A. I hope you've enjoyed it, everybody, and I will go ahead and pop that onto the website now under coaching, and I will see you soon. And Friday email is going to be a little mini video of me saying hey to you and telling you everything you need to know. All right, gang, I will see you in class tomorrow. See you, everyone. Have a good one. It is great to be back. Bye.